Hello, this is Lolly, and I'm here with one of my projects for the June kit for Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft. The theme is Coffee and Friends, and I'm going to use this Bow Bunny double dot paper that's called Coffee Vintage, and this was in the kit. And I decided what I want to do is to alter one of these huge tags. I cannot remember where I got this from. I really am sorry. But it does say it is Tim Holtz, etc., Stampers Anonymous. And I wrote the dimensions here. It's really thick. There's only 3 of them in this pack. And I love the way it says it's 3 small tags. I don't think they're small. So if you want to make something like this and you don't have these, this is super heavy, you could just cut out some cardboard and layer it to get it really thick. This is 5.5 by 10. Then all you need to do is just cut your corners off. But I would do that before you layer them all together because it would get really thick. So again, this is really thick. You don't have to make yours that thick, and you could just use cardboard that's around the house. And this hole, I thought maybe it would match one of my hole punches, but it doesn't. It's like 5/8, and I don't have a hole punch that size, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is put the paper on here, but I do think I want to punch out this hole first. So I thought maybe if I use my 3/4 inch punch, that would be sufficient. So let me see what size of a punch that is. That's what it looks like. It looks pretty good, and I think that will be fine. Okay, so I'm just going to cut around this so that I know I've got plenty of wiggle room here. Okay, so that's my room there, and I'm going to punch a hole right around where I need this. I love the back of this too. I love both sides, so it's a really hard call. Alright, so what I'm going to do is affix this to this. Now you could use, your PVA glue, whatever you want. I think I'm going to use the Mod Podge, and I think I might first distress this a little bit. And the other thing is, I should have thought about is that it comes with these to look like hole reinforcers. Oh yeah, that's going to cover up anything that any difference between my paper and this chipboard thing. So, okay, let me get my Mod Podge out. Okay, I have a really large jar, so I have put some of it in a smaller jar, which makes it a lot easier for me. And I have finally gotten some brushes that are going to be just for my Mod Podge. I got this squeegee from the hardware store, and I really like it. It's flexible, it's rubbery, but still firm. And then I don't have to use credit cards, which I have torn some of my projects before. I'm pushing it toward the hole here. And I am pushing down on the corners, like the edge of the paper here. Make sure I get a really good seal in there. Okay, let's let that dry. Okay, that is good and dry because I got busy today and I haven't had a chance to come back and play with it. So I have a sanding block and I'm going to sand the paper off of here. It's pretty thick paper, so this is going to be a new experience trying this. I'm just kind of coming down at an angle sort of like this. And I got this idea from Suzanne, and I love the idea because it also gives like a rough texture here. See, it's pulling down right there. See how it's pulling off? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and then finish doing this. Okay, a lot of sanding. So here it is. And you'll see there might be some little fuzzies here and there. And you'll have a little bit of a white around here. If you don't like that, then you can go ahead and distress around that. And I'm thinking that that's probably something I want to do. Now I want to collect all the ephemera embellishments that I want to put on here and just kind of have a look at it. Sometimes I don't know where I'm headed. I just start gathering supplies. So I know I want to put this on there, and I might have room for one of these. And I definitely want to do a flower. So I'm thinking that I might want to put this splash on the bottom here. So let me put this under here. I want to get some of this dimensional effects. Good, nice and pasty. Now what I was thinking was I wanted something really pasty to add to it to darken it, but I don't have, my gelatos don't have a dark brown in it. So this is the darkest brown paint that I have, which is not a happy situation. So I thought I might need just a hint of black to add some depth to it. Okay. Well, it's darkening it up pretty well. I was thinking I don't want it too dark because I don't want it to blend into this. I want it to have its own character. There we go. So now we have a coffee splash at the bottom. Very cute. I'm going to clean up my mess and let that dry. So that has dried, and again, one of the reasons that I had problems with the stencil was my mixture was a little too moist. Normally I don't put really super liquid things in a dimensional kind of paint, and I think if I had had something drier to mix it in, it wouldn't have gotten so soupy and gotten underneath there. I still like the look of the coffee splash. So meantime, what I did was I stamped out several of the coffee cups that came in the kit. These are adorable, and again, these are from Sizzix, Stephanie Barnard. And so I stamped them out onto marker-friendly cardstock. And then I stamped out some of these, which are also on the stamp set. Let's get a cup of coffee. And I stamped the little tiny coffee cup in the middle there. And then I used the die to cut that out and colored it in. Now, let me show you this. There you go. I used the Copics. I just think that's really cute. And what I had used for the browns were E13, E25, and E27. Those are the ones I used for the browns on here. And then I just used for a light shading of gray, I used C1 and T2. If I'd had T1, I would have used that instead of this C1. Okay, and then, so I'm thinking of doing something where this is like dripping. And then I got some my tiles, Scrabble tiles, I thought I could use. I wasn't sure if I could put this donut on there anywhere. I got some wooden buttons out. I have the word discover, and I cut it out it's a die, and I cut it out with 3 layers of cardstock and glued them together to make them thicker. And I have the die that says coffee, and I cut that out in gold. So I'm just kind of getting things out to see if any of this would look good. I got this trim out, and I got more trim out, this trim here, and this I got at thrift stores, and of course all that with these flowers. So the other thing is, a friend of mine recently gave me some a spice in a little bag that came with this little tiny scoop. I thought it would be really cute if I put some coffee beans in there, so let's work on that. So I have some coffee beans here, and you know, they're pretty oily, so I actually baked them for a little bit to hopefully dry them out. And then I kind of took paper towels to them. I've never really used real coffee beans in crafting before, so this is an experiment. And you know how I do experiments on camera. So let's put some E6000 in here because I'm afraid that other glues might not hold this well enough. And then I think what I'm going to do is when this sets up, I'm going to put a clear coat over it. I don't know whether Mod Podge or, oops, or polyacrylic sealer or glossy accents. I'm just not sure because I feel like they need to be sealed in order to kind of not rot or something. So let me do this. Let me use my rice tray that I use, because I'm afraid this is going to fall over, and then I nestle it down in the rice, and that holds it in the right position for me. And then I still may use some of these in my project here. Oops, in my project. So while that's drying, let me just kind of get a general feel for where I might want some of these things. And I think the scoop will go over here somewhere. I know this is going to be tipping this way, and I think that this needs to be distressed a little bit. That helps. Okay. Now, I really like the donut, but I don't think it's going to work. I know I'm going to have this popped up, and I'm thinking whether to put this across here somewhere. And let me try that out. Okay. And I know I want some of this on there. So I think I'm going to do is get this on there, because to me this is focal. I need to get some pop dots. I have all sorts of them, and I have different thicknesses, and I think I want some thick ones on there to really give it dimension. I was just thinking, what about a piece of paper that had, like, from a dictionary that had the word coffee on it? And so I tore the coffee page out of this, and it's in my junk journal stash, and I'm photocopying it so that I don't have to use the dictionary page itself. And here it is. And I see coffee right here. So what I'm going to do is take some Mod Podge and go over with a small brush and just kind of coat like all of these coffee beans. And then off camera, I'm even going to go like underneath them and try to get all of it so that it kind of protects them. I'm going to put this in my little rice pack again. Okay, one thing I want to do is I want to accent this word that says discover. And I have this, this is Martha Stewart's Decoupage Glitter, and so it's basically the same thing as the Shimmery Mod Podge. So I want to take that. Alrighty, let's let that dry. Okay, so everything is dried. I've got a coat of the Mod Podge on all the beans, and this is well coated. And I want to glue this here. I've thought about whether to put a little ribbon on here, and I can also put some more coffee beans down around the bottom. But oops, I just had a thought too. I have this white gel pen, the Uniball Signo, and I think I want to add a little bit of like white highlight on some of these splashes. Just very tiny highlights there. Okay, now let's glue that on there. I'm wondering, before I do that, as soon as I start picking up that glue, I keep seeing things. I'm wondering if I can't distress this a little bit too, because it's just too stark of a light color in here. Okay, now I'm going to glue this on. And like I said, I'll still think about putting putting a ribbon on there. I went through all my ribbon stashes and I found this that I really like. And I wanted to see about if I would like it in here. It's very floppy. And I just want kind of a short one because this is going to be, I don't think I'm going to hang it by this. So I want it to stick straight up, if that makes sense. So when I'm okay. Now, I am one that even after I finish the video, I keep coming back and looking at things and seeing if I should add to it. I'm going to get some ribbon and see if I like it. Well, you know, it smells good in here because of the coffee beans that are sitting on my table. It really smells good. Okay, so that is my project for now. I don't think I want to mess with it anymore. I may do something about this yet. I still may take it off. I'm not positive yet. It's not growing on me. I have to think about it. I might want something stiffer. I do have some fabric stiffener. I may try that to get it to stay up. Anyway, I love it, and I love all of these papers and elements and how cute they are together. And leave it as is, but you know, I didn't get to use my donut, but it is really cute, you know. I just don't think it works. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check all the links down below this video.